Yep, it just finally completely gave in. Oh man. Got a lot of use out of it. Dude. Yep. This one is bit to death. Rain was mostly okay, believe it or not. But canvas is shot. Look at it. Yep. Channel lock come in handy for a lot of things. Used them on the greenhouse, high tunnel, and these hoops as well. These huts, as I like to call it. Alright. This was Lacie's milking stand for the cows, but she should decided to be more. What? What? You're fine. It's just a black snake. We've had this black snake that's been hanging around here, king snake, and it is not doing anybody any harm. I've seen it several times now. It passed by us when we were processing chickens. It would pass by us another time. It's actually does more good than harm. Right here, look. Here, come here.
Look under the table.
See the snake?
And Bubba want to touch it. No, I don't want to touch it. We're not going to touch it. You want to name it?
Oh, it's cute. It's cute?
Can you name it? Name it Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi.
Are you a snake person? If so, let me know in the comment section below. Now, I am not a snake person, but I'm also not terrified of snakes either. I actually held a snake at the Mountain Readiness 2 years ago, and come to think of it, Micah did too, and he actually really liked the snake part of the event. He was all over it, and I don't know what the world's gotten into him here recently. He's been just like acting scared and crazy about snakes, especially the black snakes. I don't know what in the world's going on. But anyways, back to our project. I was in there for a while. I think it lasted. It's been up here a couple years. Maybe 3, 5, I can't remember. Something like that. I'll whack my own eyeball, that wouldn't be good. Now, it may be hard to tell, but for those of you who don't know, this is / was a DIY shelter that I put together a number of years ago. I constructed it by making hoops from top rail fencing, taking those top rails and putting them in a bootstrap farmer hoop bender and making it similar to how you would make a greenhouse, a DIY greenhouse. But instead of using plastic to cover it, I used canvas tarp. And I attached the canvas to the hoops with channel locks and spring wire, also known as wiggle wire. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Sun's playing peekaboo right now. But it is good to see the sun because we've had like several days of just rain, 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 rain. So having a little bit of sun, but right now it's not all bad, even though it's like super muggy. It's almost like I wish I could share this YouTube fill-o-vision because it's humid and muggy out here right now for sure. And we're supposed to have more rain again. So I do need to hurry this up because we got several tools that I need to protect from the rain. Do you have any regrets of things that you've done at your home or on your homestead? If so, let me know in the comment section below. But one big regret that I have personally, and I would totally do it different, is I would have long ago constructed more storage areas for my tools. Over the years I've acquired numerous tools and I haven't stored them properly. And some of them have started to rust and just take wear and tear from the weather and the elements, and it's totally my fault. So it's time to do something about that. Well, it's way past time to do something about that. And we're going to change that with starting with this area right here that I'm working on. Back up we go. Ground's uneven from all this rain. Surf's up USA. And that's the milking stand that I made right here. Yep.
Since we've been moving the cows further away from the milking stand that I had, I've kind of figured out a way to milk May without the stanchion. So I put her food in a pan in a gorilla cart and put it right up next to the fence so she can't move away from me. And as long as she has feed in her pan, she'll stand there and let me milk and it won't be a problem. So, which is really good considering we're away from the stanchion. But I would like in the future maybe to have like a mobile little hut or something that I can just go into so I can milk when it's raining.
Get out of there. Got this thing off. Come on. You there yet? Not yet. There we go. Got damage on it, so we're gonna do some repair on this thing. Now the cows did do some damage with this shelter, just bumping into it and a number of other things. But someone should have attached a few of the pieces a little bit better than they did, or I guess I did. I pulled in there, which I didn't do before. Do this time. Are you kidding me? All right, let's just get going. Ammo. Bam, shika, bam, bam. And I was really hoping to get this done before it rained again. Am I going to be able to get it done? Oh, we'll see. I still have a number of things to do here. Let's take it out. Now, we've been known to get some winds that will just pick things up and blow them away. And to keep the shelter from blowing away, I had to secure the hoops in the ground. And to do that, the hoops connect to poles that are cemented into the ground. And there are a number of benefits to building a DIY semi-permanent shelter like this. For starters, it's much cheaper than setting up a concrete pad with all the footings and everything required for a barn or a building or a shed. And also, in most places, you don't have to pull a permit or anything to set something up like this. And if it's not working out in the area that you put it in and you're like, you know what, it doesn't work out here, you can always move it somewhere else. Now, my shelter here, I plan to keep. We're making some adjustments and we're going to repurpose it. Recently, I was on a podcast, a DIY Knot podcast with Michael Stein, and we talked about things like this. DIY projects around the homestead. And I also found out that he is one of the owners of Tarps Plus. So for repurposing my shelter here, I got one of their heavy duty canvas tarps. And one of the things I like about their company is their products are made right here in the United States of America. Make sure the end goes to you. Yes, it is. All right. This is upside down. I'm gonna stay. There's the seam. We just happened to line it up perfectly with that. I didn't even know the seam was right there in the middle. Wonderful. Of course it's gonna start raining now. Let me at least get finished with putting this on. I told you, either sun's out, muggy, or it's raining. In there. Get in your new home. Right in there. This is crazy. This is actually almost like the identical color that our yurt previously was before we changed the outside a few years ago. Uh-oh, it's starting to rain. Here comes the rain. Oh, good. Back up. Now it's raining for real now. And then my boys came out to help me with disassembling the milking stand. Crazy, this was yellow. Not anymore.
Bright yellow is that.
Yeah, it must be yellow.
Now it's like black, white.
And I made the platform pretty sturdy to be able to handle a cow walking on it. So it was a little challenging moving it, but I got to thinking, let's repurpose this too. So we moved it over to the edge of our shelter. And Josiah sprayed off the cow manure, while Micah helped me add mulch to the bottom or the ground of our shelter. There's that there. All right. Now's the time to get my tools and equipment out of the rain and under cover. And one piece of equipment that I have really been wanting to get out of the rain is my new rear tine champion tiller. I really want to make sure we take care of that. So I was happy to get it under there too. dude, it feels good to have my tools out of the rain. But I also have a second shelter that I constructed just like the one we just worked on. And we used it to store hay for the cows and goats, but this one really hasn't worked out where we have it. I really don't like the location of it. So as we started taking it down, we took off the plastic that we had over the tarp, since the tarp got holes in it, removed the tarp, and then disassembled the hoops. And move them to a completely different location here on the farm. But before I could repurpose this shelter, I first had to clean up the area that we were going to be setting it up in. In addition to mowing this area, there was also a lot of construction material that had just broken down and made a mess in this spot from all the rain had gotten to it and just made it not even usable anymore. So we had to clean that up. And of course we had to have another little challenge, because on the skid steer that we use, we couldn't take the forks off to use the bucket to just scoop up the material. So we had to pick it up by hand and come up with a way to dispose of it. So I was like, oh, my Champion rear tine tiller came in a big box. We can just take the materials, put it in the box, and then ask Lacie to come pick it up with the forks on the skid steer and dump it in the dumpster.
These things right here since I was 17 or 18 years old, and it really comes in handy knowing how to use one to get stuff done here on the homestead, whether it's moving hay or picking up trash or all the other things we've used it for. It's nice that I'm able to help out that way.
Woo, that worked out well. But there was also some more materials that I had to figure out how we were going to pick them up. So, remember that old tarp that we had on the first shelter? Well, I put it on top of a pallet, and we put the materials on top of the tarp and just made the tarp like a big garbage bag for Lacie to come pick it up. Would this crazy idea of mine work? Let's see. crazy idea work?
It worked.
Were you down?
No,
She's like, what kind of
I
crazy?
figured worst case scenario, the pallet would come off too, and we just have to take the pallet out of the dumpster.
Trying to save the pallet. Bam! It did. And then, after everything was cleaned up in this area, now we can move on with setting up the shelter in this new location. And with this one, I was going to do some things a little bit different. For starters, I'm making this one movable. So we built a base frame for it. Then set up our hoops inside the frame and bolted the hoops to the frame. And even though I want it to be movable, I don't want the wind picking it up and blowing it. I want it to be moved when I want it to be moved. We anchored it to the ground. And then after that, we covered it with our second Tarp Plus canvas tarp. There we go. Got it up. But there is a lot of poison ivy vines in here. I am not going to try to pull these up by hand, at least right now. And for this one, we also added mulch to the floor of it. As well as put some other items underneath here that we wanted to keep out of the rain too. And one of the items that I really wanted to get under this one is an electric bike that Lacie recently got. Now, she had been storing it inside our greenhouse, which hasn't been ideal because it has been obstructing the walkways inside our greenhouse. So I was happy to move it in here. We also regularly get deliveries here on the farmstead, so it's nice to be able to set them inside this shelter as well. And we also got a number of neat things that I can't wait to share with you in some upcoming videos. One of which is in this box right here that we put inside our shelter here. But you're just gonna have to wait and see what it is.